Okay, so this is the first video of the Gen Math 3-4. So on this one, we're going to be learning how to calculate a paycheck. This will be done through a real-world job searching activity and paycheck project. So every one of my videos are going to start like this. I'm going to go over the objective, and then it's going to kind of go into the project slowly but surely. But we're going to be calculating paychecks, and we're going to do a real-world activity to calculate these paychecks. So this next part over here is an introduction with a quick story. I had a student, this is before I started putting them online, so this is clearly recent that this happened. I was walking through Walmart, and one of my former students came up to me like, "Hey, Mr. Beuthin," I'm like, "How you doing? What's new? How have you been?" He's like, "Oh yeah, good. You know what? You were really right. I wasn't really paying attention in class, but that stuff you were talking about with like the paychecks and everything, you're right." I'll get to the rest of the story later, but let's start with why should you care? If you're making $10 per hour and you work 30 hours per week, how much do you make that week? Not too hard of a question. So you work that 30 hours a week, do some math over here. If you have to pull out a calculator, that's fine. Like right now, get some time. Pause it if you want to. It's just going to go around the clock. Or if you want to, like I said, open up the calculator function, grab your phone. Maybe you can do it mentally. So take a few minutes. I'm going to kind of be quiet. You'll probably hear shuffling in the background. But take a few minutes. Try to solve this problem. 10 hours a week. $10 an hour, $30 a week. How much do you make? Time's almost halfway up, or past halfway up. Okay, so time is basically up. I'm going to give you the answer in a second, or kind of give you the answer. We'll see in a second. But so why should you care? Why should you care if you get a new job making $10 an hour and $30 a week? How much did you make? Okay. Well, what answer did you get? Right now you're shouting it out. I got $300, Mr. Beuthin. Well, did you get the answer $300? Well, if you got the answer of $300, you're actually going to pop up as that you're wrong. Well, no, Mr. Beuthin, I did the work. I calculated. I know I did. Well, you're kind of wrong. You're not wrong. Well, Mr. Beuthin, what are you talking about? I'm confused now. Well, let's go over this again. You were making $30 an hour, so you read through the problem. $10 an hour, 30 hours. So I did my word problem. I circled $10. I put it over there. And then I read through the problem again. I saw there was a 30. So I took that 30 and I put it down over there. So I know this is repeative addition because if I work 1 hour, I make $10. 2 hours make $20. So that's multiplication. So I put it in the little vertical form. I multiplied it out. 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 1 is 0. I put the place filler and then I did it again. Got 30, so it's 300. Well, Mr. Beuthin, he said that was wrong. I did the math. We both did the same math and we got... Why are you saying I'm wrong? Clearly we had the same answer, so we got to be right. Well, first, if you need help in multiplication, there's a link right there to get some more help on multiplication. But what about the tax? Well, I didn't think about that tax. I know that sometimes when I go to the store, they charge me more than what the product is. Well, here's a little bit more about tax. Dictionary.com described it as a sum of money determined by a government for its support or for specific facility, service, levied upon tax, property, sales, etc. Well, that doesn't make any sense at all, Mr. Beuthin. That's why dictionaries are not good. Okay, well, I'll pull up a few things like gasoline. Hopefully you guys are all driving now, but if you're not, in Arizona, if you get a gallon of gas, it's going to be about 30 cents cheaper than if you go to California and get a same gallon of gas. It'll be a little bit cheaper in New Mexico, be more expensive in Nevada. Well, that's weird, Mr. Beuthin. Well, it also works with sales tax. When you buy something, like if you go to the dollar store, it doesn't cost $1. Like even though it says $1, $8.16 over there for Arizona, I think Buckeye's 9.8. So, but it's about there. But this is what we're going to be talking about in a minute: income tax, which is kind of weird because California's 13%, Arizona's 4.5. There's a whole bunch of other ones with none, but we care about income tax, and that's what we're going to talk about. In a second, it's going to pop back over there to that little map All these were provided by taxfoundation.org. That's where I took it from. But 4.54, yeah, it might be a little bit because depending on the time, blah, 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 blah. But I just want you to know income tax is different for every state, and we're going to be using Arizona's for this next part of the project. So, well, what is income tax? Well, income tax is something taken out of your paycheck, your income, by the government. It's either Medicare, Social Security, state tax, federal tax. Federal's like the big government, states, local government, a whole bunch of other stuff. So, again, why should I care? If you make $10 an hour, you work 30 hours a week, why should I care how much I make? I don't care, Mr. Beuthin. Well, it does actually help to know how much is being taken out of your paycheck. It gives you a peace of mind if you know. Because some of that money you'll getting back at income tax time. When you do your income tax, or your parents do your income tax, you get some back. Some you won't. It's good to help you too, because some employers aren't honest with others and they might try taking stuff from you that's not theirs. It also helps you prepare a budget. Just a few little quick things that I came up with. There's more. So what can you do to prepare for the next class? If you want, you can start looking at some job websites. Monster.com, shopping.com, etc. Check out the local newspapers. Maybe get some print ads like at Fry's. Well, maybe look for jobs you're qualified for. We'll talk about qualifications in the next video. Maybe see what jobs are available in your area. Maybe you want to start applying for jobs. But ultimately, if you do nothing, you'll be fine. We're going to be doing this in class next time. And we'll be talking more about how to search for a job. And then the math stuff starts coming after we find the job. But to recap, that whole little story that I kind of led into that I didn't tell you, he's like, Mr. Beuthin, you're right. They do take a lot out of your paycheck. Like, for example, that $300 would probably only be like $220 after you got your paycheck, your first paycheck back. So the government is going to take money out, and it's good for you to know how much they're going to take out to help you. So again, we're going to go, and this is going to probably be like 2 or 3 weeks we're working on just calculating paychecks. But take your time, relax. All the videos are going to be the same. We're going to start with the objective. We're going to recap everything at the end. Then also, if you notice about that objective too, that there's some red words in there, those are the most important part. Like the student will be able to calculate a paycheck. This will be done through a real-world activity, done through real-world job searching activity and paycheck. Those red parts are the most important because that's what you're going to be doing. And the other kind of parts just kind of are the sentence that brings it together. So thank you guys for watching the video. We're going to be doing more about this in class whenever the next day of class is. So have a good night, and I'll see you guys later.